Okay, the S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100, we're getting right into because today we had some interesting action, but nonetheless, the past basically 10 trading days have been all consolidation. When we look back from basically last Monday, you had an initial spike to the upside, but when you look here, you're trading in an overall box and you're not really doing much. And that's kind of what I want to attack here is where we're at and what this really means for the market, because you have a lot of big names also consolidating like this as you're pressing above highs. You do have the S&P ES coming back into your 200 SMA. That is interesting to see. We'll see how that overall develops into tomorrow and what you can be expecting for that. But we have a lot to attack here, so let's make it as quick as possible. So again, spy what's happening here as far as volume is concerned as well. Again, we've seen volume really dry out. You saw decent volume a little bit on yesterday, but today, again, more on the dry side. And this isn't really a case of you don't need great volume to keep going up. You don't need great volume to keep going down. Where you typically expect to find good volume is a breakout in one direction or the other. So yesterday, it could have been a sign of potentially a break to the downside if you would actually maintain this type of move. But again, you're still overall in the range and the levels we've been discussing. Also, too, I'm sorry for not making videos every day this week. I've had a lot of family stuff. It's my kids' last week of school. It's been really swamped. But again, we're going back to business as usual. Sorry in advance for any days I may miss like that. But again, things to be watching right now. The biggest thing that happened yesterday was what happened with the bond auction. And to break this down, basically, we have these bond auctions every month, every 2 months, whatever it may be, right? They come around. Now, the problem with yesterday's is the bond auction came out and nobody wanted to buy bonds. It was very, very dry, right? And then we ended up buying them ourselves. Now, what happened here is you go into the U.S. bond, you look at the 10-year, 30-year, and guess what? You go to the daily, and this has been one of the big question marks and kind of bad-looking scenarios in the market has been the 30-year yields, which continue to go up and up and up and up and up. That is a major concern for me, okay? So I want to make that really clear, is that this is the bad thing. This is the only thing that I'm looking at that I hate to see right now. And that's where you're at. You actually almost spiked to highs above 2023, which again is very concerning. So this will affect the mortgage market and what's happening with the homes and home sales, etc. But again, this is the area of the market that looks the worst, right? You go to DXY, look at the dollar as well, continues to ramp to the downside, getting below potentially that support that you had here. This loses this. This could also be bad. So again, when we look at the market as a whole, you look at what's happening from tech, semiconductors, etc. They're still bouncing. They're still doing well overall. Even despite some of the downside that we're seeing on the day, they're holding up. When you look at the overall health of the economy, the dollar and yields, this paints a very different picture, which is why I think it's putting the Fed in a position where I think they might start cutting sooner than they want. I'm just saying that right now. We'll see. I don't want to, predict anything, but again, that's what I'd be looking at right now. Now, going into anything else, I want to say right now, if you are interested in seeing how we trade, what we trade every single day, and again, if you're in Discord like Tyler, where have you been the past 2 days? I had some family stuff going on. Sorry, family has to come first. But again, I leave you in the hands of Jordan whenever I'm not there. But you can see everything that we're trading. Even this morning, I gave you the rundown over the futures, what I'm looking at there, what happens in technicals, the top trades we're looking at there as well, trade ideas going into options, etc. We all put everything there for you guys. And again, of course, the watch list every single morning that Jay puts out as well, going into the top stocks in the day, futures, etc. also. So that's all for you. The link is down below if you're interested. There's a free link as well if you are interested. So it's all there. Have a good one. Make sure you check that out if you're interested. I also want to say right now, if you're interested in top one, it's who I use for my futures trading. Again, you can check them out as well. One of the cheapest ones out there, especially for straight to funded. When you use our code, it's not 35% off. It's actually 40% off. You see right now it's 35. It goes to 40%, so check it out while you can. Now, again, I want to make this really quick. I don't want to spend a lot of time here on the video today, guys. Again, when you look here, let's just quickly just zoom in a little bit. But you can see this goes back basically to last Tuesday. I mean, ranging back and forth. You've done nothing, right? So for anyone that's objectively saying that you're moving in this direction or that direction, you're not doing anything. You're trading back and forth. And if I get rid of everything here, the very least, you're still above your 200 daily moving average. Now, where the question comes into effect is going more in towards the S&P futures, because S&P futures got below the 200 SMA, and they're kind of pending between the 100 SMA and the 200 SMA, okay? And that is a question mark. Now, what I will say, this is my personal interpretation of what I'm looking at. If you lose the 200 SMA on the NASDAQ, I would probably turn more bearish. I would look for more downside. The S&P, I'm not saying it's irrelevant or not important, but what I will say is that the NASDAQ has led us for the past 3 years now. So I'm going to rely on what has led us and
All right, I want to give a special shout out to the sponsor of this video and the channel. It's the only broker that I use. It's Moomoo. And again, the link is going to be down below if you guys want to check them out. So giving you a little bit more of an instance of what I'm doing and how I'm looking at the platform as a whole, though. So something I'm always going to is into the options, specifically, obviously looking at options. But when I'm looking at even like, let's go like for leaps, for like dated contracts, I go into something like 2027, which seems like so far away. But you can get an idea of what you're trading, why you're trading it. So you obviously can get the Greeks, but again, you go into, let's say, the 165s, you go to view detailed quotes, and then we jump into the chart here, and this is the daily chart. You can see exactly how these options are moving. So I can see the low on these contracts are $24, and they're currently at 26, and how they're moving every single day. I can go to a better example of looking at some short-dated contracts if I'm trying to get a quick trade. But again, you're getting all of this data and all this information on the platform of Moomoo. You can actually try it out for absolutely free. The link, again, like I said, is down below. But on top of that, when you make a selected deposit into your account, if you decide to actually use them, you can get up to 60 free stocks and 8.1% APY on uninvested cash. Again, you can get more information, everything like that, going over this. The link is down below. Make sure you tap in. Make sure you try them out. Because again, I just try to share you guys with what I'm using every single day here on the channel. Let's get back to the video.
Move the best, which has been tech, semiconductors as a whole. Okay, so what I'm looking at, what I'm watching for there. So again, when I'm looking at something like NQ, where I start to turn a little bit concerned is if we could lose 21,000. I think there's a high possibility. Go to 20,900. And then you go down into 20,750. On ES, again, if we get below 58.21, I'd get pretty bearish on the 57.72. Pretty clear and simple there. Going towards SPY and QQQ, the levels have remained the same. So again, even if I did make a video yesterday, you saw all the same levels, right? So SPY sitting at 586, dropped down, rejected off it, dropped back down. Not a good look there. Still looking for that 200 SMA there. Again, there's a difference between futures and there's a difference between futures and the ES and SPY and Qs and NASDAQ. So understand that. So that's why you're above that still. QQQ still looks fine. Again, still above 510. You would like to hold 515.7, but you're below that right now. But again, as you zoom out, you can still see you're above huge levels. This is still highs from the beginning of November. Highs from November, sorry, right there. So still, you look really tough. You could argue that you're consolidating, flagging. And that's really where I kind of step into when I look at this market as a whole, is that right now, if I look at this, you're just consolidating. I mean, you've had opportunity. Like today, you had an opportunity to see sell side below 21,000, maybe break down deeper, but you didn't. You're not seeing that continuation. And again, it's a very similar thing. So and again, sometimes this helps, but you can see like you've had opportunities to break down, but you just haven't got them. So
action, which is why I said if we get above 20,005, I'm looking to go long because I know the action will be quick, right? So it's setting yourself up and knowing what to expect as well based off of that trade plan and everything that's kind of going on there. I will say ES is also a very, very strong close. Phenomenal close. You're above Friday's highs. So again, you look at something like SPY and look what's happening here. SPY is above Friday's levels. Like, I don't know what else to say. And when you look at this type of action, like on the daily, it's very, very bullish action. The fact that you're dipping down like this and then just finding buyers. Incredible to see. Look at those tests as well of 590.8, our key level there as well. The same level we've been marking out. So again, it's very important that we're identifying and looking at these major levels that are right in front of us, and then also seeing the reaction. Because so far, the sellers have had opportunities, especially today on NASDAQ this morning. You had opportunities for downside. But just like we were getting the downside where buyers couldn't really push us up, well, the tables kind of turned, right? It's clear as day that sellers aren't getting aggressive and aren't stepping in the market when they have that opportunity. So things that I'm looking at, things that I'm watching, and I still think right now you favor the upside. Now, earlier I posted a video on NVIDIA, so I'm not going to go over semis too much, but I will say right now, NVIDIA is just consolidating at highs. I think you're trying to get another push here, and we all know that NVIDIA is really the leader of the NASDAQ, if you will. So I'd be watching NVIDIA very closely here as you're just consolidating here. It looks really solid. Names like AVGO also look pretty impressive. TSM, another semiconductor name, they all look really good. I think TSM is kind of bull flagging here. It looks really tough. Kind of an ugly candle down here, but everything else looked really solid. A big question mark for me right now is Apple. You dip down into the 206, and I mentioned on Friday is that I'm looking at XLK and Tech to try to step up. Why? Because I think semis have really led this move back to the upside. They've really done awesome. AVGO in particular has done great. NVIDIA, again, it gets most of the spotlight, but AVGO has been a beast. I want to see tech start to heat up again. And I still think Apple looks fine. You bounced where you had to, right? 26.4, 26.5, or 206.5. Below, if you held below that, you were going to go straight down to the gap fill. So again, on the 1 hour, the 15-minute, you held it. Good to see, right? There, I mean, I'd be anticipating a pushback into 211.2 tomorrow, then maybe even 214 above that. But again, you start to look at all these other Mag 7 names, and they still look impressive. You got a dip. Again, probably a buying opportunity right now. But again, I mean, Meta holding above 638. Monster, I mean, I think this is one of the big monsters out there, has a lot of room back up as well. Amazon, pretty impressive. Stuck below this little level you have right here, basically 206. You're trying to hold above it, but you get above this and the 100 MA. I think you're cooking back towards 216. Netflix right back at all-time highs. Again, just trying to do it again. I wanted to see a dip down to 111.60. You didn't get it. So again, that's me being just too patient, too conservative, but pushing back in a highs here. And again, the list, Microsoft, this was Jordan's name today. I mean, Microsoft, really impressive, really a sleeper out there. Breaking your downtrend structure, right? Clearly making lower highs since, July 2024, breaking out, trying to push back in all-time highs. Must-watch name. Google, as well, holding 164, above 164. We know we're looking for a 170 to 171 test, a 200 SMA. So again, like, it's just building on top of each other as we move forward here. Like, this is what you want to see. And again, you look very impressive overall. This is pretty much everything you wanted to see is kind of playing out here. Now, the biggest name, I'm going to leave you guys with this. Video's not going to be too long today. One of my biggest sleepers out there right now is CrowdStrike. Discord has already made aware of this. I'll probably go into more details in Discord tomorrow, but I think CrowdStrike is a monster here. Be totally honest with you guys. I don't know if you'd really consider this a cup and handle. It looks like one to me, right? Clear as day, right? Make your cup, forming your handle, trying to mount, break out, right? Pretty clear. You also had this double bottom kind of form out down here as well with your neckline here. You broke already above, got above 398, haven't looked back. We went long on that earlier in Discord. So as of right now, I personally believe that, CrowdStrike has potential to break all-time highs and start running towards 500. I'd be watching it very closely. Another big name here is PanW. You've been talking a lot about this. You've been holding your previous all-time highs here at 190, 190.5. You're breaking back above our key level 194-ish, which we marked out in Discord, told you guys about last week. Again, if you're in Discord, you haven't been paying attention. Again, technicals, I've been hammering home some of these swing trade things along those lines as well here. We talked a lot about CrowdStrike, Netflix. I'm trying to make sure I can see this one for you. Let me actually bring it up real quick. I just want to make sure, because again, everything's tracked and kept back there inside of Discord, so no one can ever say I'm lying or anything like that. It's always there for you. But again, PanW approaching target. We mentioned it here as well. Yeah, this was CrowdStrike. Where's PanW? Let me see it real quick. Yeah, PanW just making highs, pushing in our level. So again, some of the monster names I'm looking at, I think Cloud's a little bit slept on right now, has a lot of room to go. So what I'd be watching, if you have questions, let me know down below. The links and everything are down below. I appreciate all of you. See you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, traders.
Again, it's just important that you look at this for what it is and not what you think is going to happen, which I think is something that we can all be guilty of sometimes. But again, how I'm interpreting this as a whole is you're still holding up. I mean, you're not even breaking below 21,000. I mean, your previous little high here. You zoom out, you still look fine. So I like where you're at. You still look good. Now, the area that I'm really watching is more towards semiconductors. And again, I've been saying this a lot. I was really watching XLK going into this week, and I'll go into that here in a second, which is the tech ETF. But when you look at something like semiconductors, again, you're just bull flagging into your 200 SMA. Like, this is good behavior. This is what you want to see. Now, if you start losing this, it is what it is. You didn't get the continuation, the setup fails, but you still look good. XLK, similar action, right? Worth mentioning. And it's worth mentioning that you're getting this type of action while Apple, one of the biggest holdings in XLK, is getting torched. Like, Apple looks atrocious, probably the worst looking name in the market right now. Again, I've kind of been saying that, but I think Apple should start moving in a better direction sooner than later as well. Towards more names like Amazon, go towards Microsoft. And they're holding up really, really well as also when you look at the Mag 7. So this was the question is, can you get more names other than just semiconductors going? And I wanted to see XLK get the pop off, but you're still seeing the other Mag 7 names look really good as well. Meta had a really good week, really good start to the week, kind of slowed down since then, but still looks solid. And again, Netflix, all-time highs basically. Could these, pivot back? Could they pull back deeper? Potentially. But you have to look at the market for what it is right in front of you. And the more I look at the market right now, the more I'm saying, okay, you're consolidating, but you still have a lot of these names holding up very good, and they're primarily your leaders in the market, right? It's not like I'm talking about mid caps or small caps. I'm talking about your Mag 7, your heavy hitting names out there, right? And you look at something like Dow, for instance, that's taken such a hit on the week because of UNH. And again, I look at UNH and I'm like, this is one of the biggest holdings in Dow. And Dow, again, worst action by far from indexes. However, still test your 200, rejected off it, kind of coming back down right now. When you look at this, again, it's interesting you're seeing one of your largest names in the index getting destroyed, and Dow still trying to hang on by a thread, right? Again, Eli Lilly's other names could start if healthcare starts to bounce, Dow's gonna go crazy, right? And Eli Lilly's at a really big spot as well. So what I'd be looking at, what I'd be watching. Now again, this isn't one of the videos where I'm telling you buy this, sell this. These are the hottest, best names. It's more of just looking at the market right now, being patient with this consolidation, waiting for confirmation of a break up or break down. Because again, you're gonna make your money when you get out of these ranges. When you're trading these ranges, when you're hyper focused on back and forth, you're not gonna get great option trades, especially options. Right, with futures you can trade that, but options you're not going to. And I like to talk about the biggest, best opportunities out there, so you guys can come back to the channel and say, "Hey, Tyler, you're right about this. Thanks for calling this out." I like to at least have some sort of track record of people say, "Oh, like Tyler got this, this, and this right." Right? I'll eventually be wrong, and sometimes I am wrong. Right? It's part of the game. But I like to only talk about what I think is the best opportunities out there for myself and what I'm looking at as a whole. Have a good one, traders. I'll see you tomorrow.